Duh!
What's that?
You'll find out in lesson 10-2.
Awesome.
This is lesson 10-2, and in this lesson we will see how to use sine, cosine, and tangent to find the measures of angles in right triangles. The vocab words in this lesson are the inverse of cosine, the inverse of tangent, an inverse of sine, and angle of depression. The inverse of cosine, sine, and tangent is mapping x onto the sine, cosine, or tangent of x. So instead of mapping the sine of x onto x, you are then mapping x onto the sine of x to create the inverse. The angle of depression is the distance between the line of sight and the horizontal line that slopes downward. Okay, so now we are going to do example 1 written in the textbook. So the question is, consider a right triangle TOP in which the hypotenuse TP has length 25 and TO equals 27. What is the measure of angle TPO? Okay, so first off, it tells you that there is a right triangle with a hypotenuse of TP. Alright, and the hypotenuse has a length of 25, and TO equals 17. Now, we are trying to find the measure of TPO, so we are trying to find this angle right here, so that will be our theta. Now, we have to let theta be the unknown angle measure, so we drew the figure, and we have to look and see that we need to find the sine. So right here we can do SOHCAHTOA. So right here we have theta, and we have the opposite, we have the adjacent, and we have the hypotenuse. So the only one that fits is sine, so we need to find the sine of angle measure P. So we could do the sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse, which then equals 17 over 25, because 17 is the opposite and 25 is the hypotenuse. And 17 over 25 equals 0.68. Alright, so then we have sine theta equals 0.68. And now, here is where the inverse of sine comes in. So we do the sine inverse of sine theta equals inverse of sine times 6.68. Alright, now we're going to use our handy dandy calculators to figure this one out. Okay, so here's the calculator. Now what we're going to do to get the sine inverse of 0.68, we're going to hit second, then we're going to hit the sine button right here to get the inverse of sine. Then we're going to type in 0.68, close parentheses, hit enter. And our answer is 42.84364304. But we're going to have to round that. So, answer is theta, is about 42.84 degrees. Now, if we wanted to round that up to the nearest degree, which in a test question or a quiz question, if it says that, then you would round up. You look to see what this number is, and if it's above a 5, you round up. Below a 5, you round down. So, since it's an 8, we have to say that the measure of angle TPO is approximately equal to 43 degrees. And that is our final answer to this problem. Alright, so that was lesson 10-2.
I want pi.
Why?
It reminds me of a unit circle.
Oh, okay.
You'll find out what it is in lesson 10-4.
Gotcha.
So, who's ready to learn about math? Today we're going to learn about the unit circle, which is lesson 10-4. The unit circle is a circle with a center at the origin and a radius of 1 unit. So, with the unit circle, you have your x and y coordinates. And the x is cosine, and the y is sine. And an easy way to remember this is cosine. They spell out cosine. So that's a really easy way to remember it. Now we're going to do an example. So here's our unit circle, and here's our triangle within the unit circle. So you always have to remember that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And in this case, our adjacent is x, and our hypotenuse is 1, and this equals x. And then our sine, and the angle here is 70 degrees. Our sine of 70 degrees is our opposite over our hypotenuse, which is going to be y over 1, which equals y. So the first coordinate, or x, is cosine of 70. And our second coordinate, which is y, is our sine of 70 degrees. Now we plug that into the calculator. So if we plug in cosine of 70 degrees, we get approximately 0.342. And you always want to make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. For the second one, you want to hit sine of 70 degrees, and we get approximately 0.940. This point here is our radian of 70 degrees, which is right here. So, in order to check this, we use the Pythagorean theorem. So we would do 0.342 squared plus 0.940 squared, which will give you about 1 squared. So then we would go and add 1.117 plus 0.884, and you would get 1.001, or approximately 1. So it works. This is lesson 10-4 on the unit circle.